MedBix Webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians and leaders in the industry about present-day healthcare challenges on our live programming. Hello, welcome to the MedBix Webcast. This is Raman Annamaraju. I'm the host. So we have a very special guest and a frequent guest of mine, Dr. Diana Londoño. She's joining from Los Angeles. She's a board-certified urologist. And then after that, I'm going to present a topic on a very interesting topic. It's really mind-blowing topic, even for me. You know, I read quantum physics all the times, and things that I found something today is a extraordinary thing that I found. I tell you about the ChatGPT, all the AI models, some secret, a nature's hidden secret in all these artificial intelligence. I'll tell you about that. That is what I'm going to present today. Okay, so that is a topic. Actually, where is this hidden secret by nature? We are trying to exploit and taking advantage of the nature's hidden secret. That I'm going to present that. But anyway, in 1915, Albert Einstein published a paper, special relativity paper, 1905. In this paper, he said that there is nothing goes faster than speed of light, because the cause and action has to be, you know, if I hit the table, I get pain next. It never can be reversed, right? I don't get the pain first and then I hit the table next. So that is the cause and effect. It protects the cause and causation. It protects the causation, special relativity. So there is a limit for the speed of light. There is a speed. Everything is speed of light doesn't change with anything else. That's a permanent in space-time. In 1915, after 10 years after that, he came back with another theory of relativity. It says that the gravity is not a force, because he saw the Mercury is moving in a very strange motion, in a peripherian motion. It is not following the laws of Newton. Then immediately he was surprised, and then he came back with a new theory. It's called a general relativity. What he says that the gravity is not a force. It is a bending of a space-time, where in the bending all these planets move around, or stars, everything move in the bending of a space-time. The space-time like a fabric. If you go to the malls, you see you put a penny, it goes and round and round and goes inside. That's what the bending is. That bending, whenever there is a mass bends the space-time moves the planets and the galaxies and all the matter. That is the theory of relativity, theory of general relativity. He came back with it. So everybody was surprised. Nobody understood this theory when he published it. But when he came back, he said that everybody's asking, that then they want to test his theory in the South Africa. So a bunch of scientists went to South Africa to test his theory during the solar eclipse. Then they tested, exactly matched the prediction of the Albert Einstein. They were surprised. They came back, the press came to him. They were all surprised and asked him, Albert Einstein, were you surprised? No, I did not surprise. My intuition, I have a powerful intuition. My intuition is so powerful. My intuition is the really driving force for him. What he said that I would have been surprised if it is not met my intuition. That's what he said. That he was inspired intuition. So intuition is a powerful instrument in my view. So Diana Londoño, urologist from Los Angeles, a frequent guest of mine, a good buddy of mine. She talks quite a bit about intuition, and then I wrote about it a little bit. So one of the very rare doctors outside of the scientific thing. She does that. Let me ask her welcome, Diana.
Thank you, Ramana, for having me on. Hi. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. You're a board certified urologist in Los Angeles, right? You come on my show several times.
Yes, correct. In
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. So let me ask you: you write, you're a traditional, you're a doctor, you're a board certified urology, you do surgery, kidney stones, and all those things. But what drove you to the intuition and you did a courses on pranic healing and Reiki, and you went outside of the traditional medicine. What drove you to do that in the traditional medicine outside of going a traditional medicine?
Well, I don't think it's truly outside. I just think it's probably not acknowledged. And as you sort of described earlier with, Albert Einstein, he said, everything is energy. So, we are all energy. And in medicine, we are constantly measuring energy, whether we're doing EKG for the heart, is that electrocardiogram. So we're measuring the energy signals of the heart as it beats and contracts. We are doing that in the brain as well, with that EEG, electroencephalogram. So we're constantly measuring energy, and energy is all around us. But what we're describing today and talking a little bit more about is intuition, which it's something that maybe is not discussed or talked about or really brought into our curriculum because you can't measure it. You can't say, well, this is your degree of intuition, or this uh, knowing that you have, which is intuition, allows you to get to this result. So just like Einstein had an intuition of his hypothesis, he had a deep knowing of what it was, and he couldn't kind of prove it until it was proven in those experiments. So, because we can't measure it in medicine, many times it's very difficult to accept. So just before, maybe even viruses or bacteria were able to be seen with, microscope, people didn't believe they existed. So, until maybe we're able to find ways to measure this or quantify it a little better, it may be hard for people to accept because it's not measurable. But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So just because it's not measurable now does not mean it doesn't exist or it's a powerful force.
Well, yes, agreed. A lot of traditional medicines, that intuition is not the one they teach you how to practice or how to master that intuition. It has to come from within you. There is not a measured quantity. So, but in intuition, you have this power to how do you incorporate in treating patients or in dealing with the disease management? How do you use your intuition in your practice, or anybody you suggest to any other doctors?
Well, so intuition is basically what they call the sixth sense. So it's not something you can see, hear, taste, touch, smell. So it's outside of those five senses. It's called the sixth sense. Sometimes they call it the extrasensory, perception, or that sixth sense. So again, it's not going to be in those five senses. So it's going to come from a different place. So where is it coming from? It really is truly coming, if you believe in anything spiritual, it's coming from that higher source, that connection to that higher soul, if you believe in that. And so it's really a knowing. It's not gonna smell it, see it, taste it either, but it's sort of a knowing, a gut feeling. That's how we like to maybe describe it, that you get certain information about maybe a patient or a situation. So when you've gone through all the things you can measure and look at, all the numbers, all the tests, and then so all things are being equal, then you may get a sense that this is the right path to take, because it's not all black and white medicine. There's a lot of shades of gray. There's many ways you can go, and sometimes things don't fit, all the tests, diagnosis, symptoms. So you have to go with something more when all the tests, diagnosis, things you've done, don't give you that answer. So you have to go maybe with that knowing, and that knowing comes again from this higher source, this connection. And the best probably way to develop it is, one, to trust it, follow it, and that way you can sort of test the hypothesis. Is this correct when I tune into that, when I listen to it? And also, one of the best ways to cultivate it really is, there's many ways, but one of the major ways people say it is improved is with some type of meditation or prayer. And why that works is because you're basically sort of shutting off that part of the brain that is filled with thoughts and computing, and it's not allowing sort of that other information to come in when you're calm in a state of relaxation or meditation. So by cultivating that practice, you're able to listen, quote unquote, to those messages, those gut feelings, those knowings of where the next step may be that you have to take.
Talking about higher source, I'm going to actually, from the physics point of view, we'd call higher dimensions. Let me present you a topic on the higher dimensions, how that higher source and higher dimensions interact, and intuition. I'm going to present a topic on it, and you and me are going to watch together. Just let me talk about this called, yeah, yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, this is a what the fascinating. This is a mind-bending journey into the higher dimensions and the higher source that you call it so. So actually, I'm going to touch the higher source also. I don't usually touch because it is a scientific and it's scientifically speculative. It's part of the speculation because some of the things are still under research. So let me tell you about this. So this is in 2005. Just a minute. I'm going to bring a. Today is a little bit of a outside of my things going on. And just give me 1 second because I can. In 2005, École Polytechnique Institut École Polytechnique Institut de Lausanne is in Switzerland in Geneva Lake, near Geneva Lake. They started a project called Blue Brain Project. The color blue came from IBM. Their partnership with IBM, and they started a project called Blue Brain Project. The Blue Brain Project, the goal is to upload a conscious mind of a rat, which is a mouse. They want to take the consciousness of a mouse. They want to take a structure and function, both of them uploaded to a computer. In 2005, this was projected, funded by Swiss Federal Technical Institute. Okay, this was 2005. They did that. The mouse has a 70 million neurons and then 1 trillion connections. Humongous. There is no computer can handle that kind of a large data. So what they did was that um, what they did was that they took us only 30,000 neurons and 8 million connections in the frontal cortex because the mouse is a mammalian brain like ours. It's very close to humans, very surprisingly. So they take a part of the cortex and then they wanted to translate into the digital simulation they want to do. So, one of the things whenever I present a lot of times, most of the doctors go straight to the Google and see what I'm saying is true. I find out all the doctors do, but anyway, interesting. But so this is 2005. What they did was just give me 1 second. I'm going to bring this Blue Brain project. It's a fascinating project. What they did was they want to take a mouse brain and they upload it to the why they are uploading. What is the function? There is something mystery about the brain we don't understand. Structure to function. I'm not talking about just pure medicine. What they're talking about physics and medicine. What they're talking about is if I want to think about I want to move my finger or the rat wants to move the tail. What neurons, how they assemble and do that action. That is a function. They want to understand the connection between the structure and the function between these two. That's what they wanted to do, what they want to figure it out. Eventually, human brain is their goal, but the goal is a long way. We're not even sure we can simulate human brain or not. That is just outside of the technical, at this time, present technology. So what they did was then eventually this is a real mouse brain. They uploaded in the EPFL, École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne, the Geneva Lake Federal Institute of Switzerland. What they do, the Catherine Hess of Pennsylvania, That's where the mathematics department is very strong in the Maury Brown College. That's where the neither theorem, Emmy neither is from there. So very strong mathematical department. Catherine Hess from Pennsylvania, and the Ron Levy from Aberdeen University, and the Henry Markham of the South Africans neuroscientist. They're all together from Switzerland. They uploaded the first time successfully uploaded the brain of a. They uploaded the consciousness of. When I say consciousness, means that in the purely physical sense, physical and the functional sense. So they wanted to see what neurons, what they do exactly. And so they uploaded not only the structure of the brain, part of the brain, and the functions they want to simulate, they want to function. So let me talk about a little bit about the dimensions a little bit. So we need to learn about, before we understand how they uploaded the mouse consciousness to the digital computer. I tell you need to understand a little bit about the dimensions, because a point in the space is a zero dimension. That is, if you see a piece of paper, that's a plane, the surface, that's a two-dimensional object. A cube is a three-dimensional object. Four-dimensional objects are, we cannot imagine, it is very outside of our mental imagination, but we can imagine that simply similar to they call some tetrahedron or some name, they do that. That is a four-dimensional. You can imagine fifth, but you cannot imagine sixth, seventh is impossible to imagine for a human mind. But what they found out is, Diana talks about chakras. 11 dimensions, really, they use this kind of a mathematics, the one in the C in the right side. This looks like a chakra, right? So you can jump in anytime, Diana. That is a check, that is like 11 dimensions. That's what they visualize in their mind. A lot of artists, for example, MC Escher, all his art tessellations are very mathematicians love that, because it is 11 dimensions. They can study the higher dimensions. So what is I'm going to give you, we know we live in a third dimension, three dimensions: length, width, and breadth, height, right? So you and me, we all in the three dimensions. So we can function. We function in the three dimensions. Let me ask you, a person who is living in a fourth dimension, what they see? Let me tell you what they see. They see the entire history of yours. Fourth dimension people can see your birth to death at once, same time. You can see the birth to death at the same time. It's like you're in a plane watching the river flowing from the source to ocean. That the way you see from the plane, that's exactly, you can see they see the entire history of yours. Three-dimensional objects, they see the entire history, birth to death. That's so strange. What is 11? So if we extrapolate that kind of idea, what do you see entity living in 11th dimension? That is, entity living in 11th dimension can see entire history of universe. Omniscience, omnipresent, omnipotence, everywhere, knowing all the places. They know the history of entire universe. Not only they know the history of you and me, they know the entire history of the universe. They know. So not only entire history of the universe, they may know. I'm not going to call God, because it's a science, so I don't want to call that name. But the entire history, they may see other universes, in fact, from there. So the 11th dimension is a very powerful entity living in 11th dimension. Could be like a god. I don't want to say that, but that is the power of the 11th dimension. So we don't know a lot of these things, how the dimensions really extrapolate. String theory, for example, proposes the 11 dimensions. String theory is the theory of everything, that they say all the matter and everything, actually at the end, if we go further down, all the way, zoom in, all the way. We're all strings, bunch of strings, and vibrating in the space time. That's what they say. So this is a basically 11th dimension. That is came these dimensions in the physics came from a string theory. But actually, we want to find out the higher dimensions. They're looking for it in the Switzerland, in the Geneva Serum Laboratories, Hadron Collider. They're looking for the all the higher dimensions. We have not found yet. That is one of the drawbacks. Still is under research. These physicists are actively looking for the higher dimensions. Actually, my good friend Dr. Shamit Kachru in Stanford does a lot of these things. He may be watching, Dr. Kachru. Hello. So, so what they did was they uploaded the structure of the brain, not only structure and the function. They uploaded through clicks and cavities. They found out they uploaded. They took a lot of MRI pictures and all the CAT scan and X-rays, all the neurons structure, and they copied to the computer, and they found out the function. This is the where very strange thing comes in the picture. What they found, so if you give a stimuli, like if you touch the brain of a mouse, it moves, right? So they gave a stimuli to the digital brain, digital mouse brain, and what it does, they want to see what the neurons do. What the neurons did is an amazing thing. They followed a kind of a formation to the higher dimensions. They went all the way to 11 dimensions. They found the cavities, they call cavities and cliques. These are basically vertices of all the neurons connected, every neuron connected with every other neuron. And they created a swish kind of a thing, swish, a peak, 11 dimensional peak. It did that. So that is what they see, a stimuli, the function of the function of the brain they witnessed the first time. It is actually this how the scientists found out something amazing in this while it is doing that. The neurons coming to the strange way of forming the clicks and cavities. What they found, it is written by a theory written by two scientists, Paul Edos and Alfred Rene, the two scientists from Hungary. Okay, what they did was, the Paul Edos and Alfred Paul Edos, Alfred Rene, two mathematicians, came up with a very strange theory. There's a strange graphic. It's a graph theory. It's called Rene. They call Edos Rene graph theory. It is a mind-boggling. I tell you why it is mind-boggling. They take what they're saying is, you take suppose you randomly connect to the friends on this Facebook or LinkedIn, randomly connect. So me and Diana connected randomly. Now we are talking on a podcast about the higher dimensions. What they're saying is, if you randomly connect it, there is something in the nature itself comes with the outcome. Some points in nature emergence comes up with a purpose. Not you, not me. The nature itself comes with a purpose. That is an astonishing, strange thing. Do you understand what that means? It means there is no damn black box in the AI. They have not done. You see, AI guys are creeping off people. They're saying them there is a mystery. It is not actually. In fact, I realized it yesterday. It is the nature is forming and giving a purpose automatic from the random generation. From randomness to purpose is generated by neurons, by automatic. In fact, that is a nature's gift for us. That's a nature's hidden secret. They give a mathematical description of that. Think about that. It is a mind-boggling beyond. So that's why whenever they say explain black box, AI guys, all they are as you know, they talk a lot of strange stuff. But in fact, a random words. You can take a random words, and then eventually the random words they combined. Even the artificial intelligence scientists were surprised in the World Science Festival. They were surprised with the emergence of coherent sentences out of gibberish words. Even AI scientists who designed this project were surprised in November 2022 when the ChatGPT is producing a coherent sentences. It is came from not from any kind of a logical process. It came from something nature gave the gift to us. They use a special graph theory they didn't use. That graph theory it followed, and then it came with the emergent property that is. Oh, there were, I'm in the computers. I learned the computers in the beginning days. They were talking about expert systems and all these things for a long time. It did not do it. We have not gone so far anyway. When you put number of these random words you put together, it emergence. This kind of emergence comes out. There's no damn black box. They're trying to make some more money out of it. In fact, nature's gift to us. This is an unbelievable gift to the nature randomly collecting together is producing is this kind of thing. We saw in the digital brain, digital mouse, this neurons switch are actually it's mathematically connected with the switch is approved in the digital brain, and they coincided with the real brain of the mouse. The mathematics of the this graph theory is basically connecting all the vertices, and when they randomly connect it, and there's a purpose comes out of it, there's the action comes out of it. That is an amazing discovery in 5U. So when I was asking these questions to so that is the nature's gift for us. The unreasonable, one of the very well-known mathematician and a physicist, Eugene Wigner said the unreasonable efficiency of mathematics in science is a gift we neither understand nor deserve. What he was saying is the strangeness of this strange intuitive way these things are working in the nature. That intuition just playing a role and coming up with the coherent sentences is an amazing, that is a gift we got it from the nature. Mathematics is a tool that we can study about it. We don't know how it came out, but we have the unreasonable effectiveness of reading that thing. That is an amazing, right? So no, that's why I said that Diana's words, that how did you spit out the, we give a bunch of words. Diana speaks speaking like a Diana bot. Diana bot can speak Diana's language. So that is the nature's gift. So that is the power of that theory. That is the one thing. Now, so let us talk about the life after death. I'm dead, and my brain was uploaded into the consciousness in the digital brain. So what it does after I'm dead, all these my brain neurons with the stimuli, they connect together randomly and can come up with the new ideas and can come up with the talk with other people. My brain lives on eternally and come up with the new ideas. That's what graph theory is saying. This is the question I gave to the ChatGPT and Gemini. They said that it's a fascinating connection. It said it's validated my theory itself. So this graph theory can constitute my neurons and form a new connections. In fact, it may come up with a new laws. I am bounded by the present physical world. My brain may do a lot of things without all the restrictions. So it may come up with a new laws, new inventions. I may talk with the Diana from the death. So it is an amazing that nature's gift is a truly an amazing gift. And now I understand why we are worried about this AI's danger is that it can assemble itself and can come with the emergent poverty. It can come up with the new laws, new systems. Now let us talk about so what is the advantage of the Blue Brain project is that eventually they want to do there is a lot of ethics is involved, and then but the advantage is eventually we want to find out Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson, what is the neurological diseases, what is going on in the brain. We can see through the Blue Brain project that is a lot of things are going on in this direction. But let me tell you, very interesting about this. There is a problem there. One problem they're complaining about the carbon footprint. You know, it's 31,000 neurons, 31,000 neurons, and 8 million connections. The their the IBM superfast computer is spending so much energy. Carbon footprint is one of the highest in the among the computational powers. It's it's consuming a lot of power. Just don't make a fun of a rat brain. The IBM superfast computer cannot match even the part of the rat brain. It requires humongous amount of power, carbon footprint. Then ethical questions: what you are going to do with the new consciousness arising from this one? Well, neuroscientists may differ what is a consciousness definition is. That's I'm talking about physics, strictly physics point of view. Action, the structure and action together. That's all. But there's an amazing things going on in the brain. Is a very powerful instrument God given that to us, or I don't want to say God, something nature give it to us. This brain is very mysterious in that sense. So that is the Blue Brain project. That is, now I'm going to talk about the surgery surgery in higher dimensions. How do you do surgeries? So as you know, she's a urologist, Diana. She moves for example, if you 3D surgeon. So I'm going to give. She does every day, probably a lot of surgeries. She does removing kidney stones, right? That's what job of urologist. Main function is the kidney stone removals. So if we have a life on the two-dimensional, if there is a life exists on the two dimensions, like a spirit of king is really alive, how do you, if you have the kidney stones, how do you remove it? What do the kidney stones look like? They're spots, because there is no three dimensions, right? So they're spots. So Diana can go there and remove that spots, or patch that spots with a two-dimensional piece of paper. That's for the two-dimensional. So we can see everything. We know all the organs and all the kidney stones, everything. You can see if there is a life on the two-dimensional, exactly replica of humans is on the two-dimensional plate surface. So she can go there. So we have a special gift. Higher dimension people can see lower dimensions easier. We cannot see higher dimensions. We can see lower dimensions much easier. We understand easier. So you can look at it on the king. Suppose king got a kidney stones, the Diana can go there and remove that patches that completely kidney stones gone. The spots basically. So that is a two-dimensional. Suppose a lady, there is a goddess, Roman goddess Diana comes in picture. That is she's a hunter, Roman goddess. I found out, but now she let us make her. Let us give her a white clothes and dress her different and a white jacket. And if she becomes a 4D surgeon, four-dimensional surgeon, how does she do the surgery on kidney stones for us? What actually the way we look at for a hair point of view, all the organs are outside, for inside, outside. There is no skin, there is nothing to cut. You don't have to cut anything. It's hard to imagine. Read a little bit more and think about a little bit more. This is all the organs are directly access to the fourth dimensional objects. For fourth dimensional surgeon can go straight to the kidney stones and remove it. You don't have to cut anything. That's a little hard to understand for us, because we always have a hard time understanding the higher dimensions. We understand the lower dimensions. 4D surgeon doesn't need to do anything. We go there and pluck it out the kidney stones. So this is the world we live in. These dimensions are very mysterious. It is still speculative. But theories and mathematics and physics suggesting there is the existence of the higher dimensions. So there is a lot of mystery in those dimensions. Once you're there, we may find it. Thank you for watching. So let me bring her down back to the intuitive power of the intuition and the nature itself. we'll talk with her. Let me. So Diana, what do you think?
So what is the medical school for the fourth dimension?
Yeah, fourth dimension medical school is in heaven, probably. So tell us, that is what that, it is the intuition is that higher dimensional things you have to visualize through intuition. So a lot of Albert Einstein and all those people, through intuition they did. What do you think of the presentation? Did you know something about this blue brain project? Or
Oh, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, it's interesting to see that the mathematics, is trying to again explain what we see or we still don't understand. But just like you explained in the mouse, all these neurons firing and makes that three-dimensional picture of that. Mathematically they can compute, and then they can see, what the stimulus, what happens, mathematically. And without the mathematics, we couldn't probably explain some of this, and we still have so much more to go. Probably hundreds, thousands of years to really get to a place where we're able to understand those other dimensions. And it really does become mind-boggling because we really can't understand that there's a fourth dimension. Our brain really cannot compute it in a way. And so sometimes we have to think, if it's not in the brain physically, I mean, where is it? Then again, we start thinking about that other consciousness or that spirituality or that connection to something else. So it does definitely blend, the science with the spirituality. And I don't think, it's separate. I think is it two sides of the same coin in some ways, one helping to explain the other, or a tool to, help the other as well.
the mysteries are in front of us. We that is where the physicians embrace this mystery and accept that mystery and then work with them. So what physicists are doing, they're not invented the mystery, they're just using the mystery to their advantage, right? That's exactly doctors has to do that too. Either it's a mystery, something is spontaneous healing or whatever the situations are. Using that intuition, it gives you the path to that new kind of a treatment, new kind of understanding of the diseases. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, I am for medications and surgeries are necessary, but there are so many cases of, yes, miraculous healing, healing that you can explain. People get better without these modalities. So, how does that happen? So, what is happening, energetically, likely that is leading to wellness or is leading to disease? Because most of the disease we now know really starts at energetic level and then will manifest physically. And then we come in as physicians, trying to spot the symptoms of it, the physical manifestation. Is it a tumor? Is it something you can remove? Is it stone? But it started, energetically in a different place. So then if you can sort of reverse it in some other dimension, that energetic level, you may be able to cure things. And also, again, the power of the mind over matter, and how you can heal your own self again by the way that you change where you're putting your attention, your intention, or your thoughts. That is very, very powerful. And it's not to say you don't need your insulin, you still need your insulin, but while you take your medications, if you're able to change again this thoughts, mind, worry that is affecting you physically, you may be able to change or reverse a lot of chronic diseases or even things that are not chronic. So I do think that there is a huge correlation to the power of the mind and their thoughts, and what are we putting our attention to?
In Hindu traditions, pranic healing and Reiki are the very common things that I used to see in a Hindu religious religion. My mother used to do that. So let me that using those kind of things that you can now you're tackling with a lot of physicians who are burnout. You're giving that tools. You're finding a new tools, including the intuition and then this pranic healing, Reiki. You're using all of them to really address that very pressing problem of the burnout, right? Tell us a little bit about your company, Physician Burnout, and how you are dealing with it, and what do you do with that?
Well, I mean, I'm the founder of physiciancoachsupport.com, and that's a free and confidential platform for any physician to come and get support by a peer who's also a life coach. So, I mean, we don't use any energy healing or anything like that, but it's really more about that peer-to-peer support because we know that physicians may be very resistant to help. They are resistant to feel like they're not perfect. They feel like imposters. They don't want to talk to anybody else about what's going on. So we want to make it available, easy, free, and really accessible. And knowing that the person that they're speaking to has likely gone through many, many, many of the challenges we all go through. And so that's why it's important that it's a peer, and it just helps you look at the situation in a different light. So whatever happens to you in the day, you can even make a huge story about it that's going to drag you down the vortex of negativity and anxiety and stress and anger, or you can look at it a different way and have a different outcome. So all of our thoughts that we have are going to generate a feeling, and from that feeling we're going to take some action to have a result. So the way that we pay attention to our thoughts can help like lead us to a different result. So that's really how coaches can help. And again, we're not using any energy healing in that sense, but these are just different tools that you can find in different areas, different places, if there's something that is interesting to you. But I think if we don't learn to pay attention to our mind and our thoughts, then it's very difficult to even go down another step. So we have to first understand what are our thoughts doing, where are we going with them, how are they leading to our feelings, and that we do have feelings, we're not robots. And those feelings then again are going to lead to that action, and then definitely to that result. So many times if we want to change our current situation, where we're at, we need to realize like we were the creator of that current situation. We also have the power to change it. So that is not something that's fatalistic, it's something that is actually very empowering to realize we can change our reality, starting backtracking to really our thoughts and go from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Dr. Diana Londoño, the physiciancoachsupport.com. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I'm honored and privileged to have you anytime, Diana. Thank you so much for joining with us.
Thank you, Ramana, and thank you for always expanding our mind, making us think about things that we normally don't, and just really trying to, again, learn new things, stay open, stay curious. And, I think that curiosity, no matter what it is a good place to be, because when you're curious, you're not in a stressful state, you're open-minded, and that's very important, for our well-being to stay in that curious mindset, just like children are always curious, always thinking about new ideas and not closed off. So that's an important mindset to have. So thank you for that.
Thank you all. Good night. Thank you so much, Diana. Good night, all.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.